power inside you.
Well, we are a fantasy podcast, so as such, we are contractually bound and obligated to talk about the Wheel of Time trailer, which is what we're going to do today. So with me, I'm Craig. There's Ryan and Kyle over there. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Kyle is our resident Watt nut. But Ryan and I, we're not slouches either. I mean, we are big Wheel of Time fans now at this point, I would say.
Yeah, we've both read the books a couple times.
So let's react to the trailer now.
Whoa!
You know, I didn't even have you on screen when you did that. So no,
that's all right. It's right here. It's etched in my memory.
It's a special
forever.
moment for us.
So
we got the reaction to my reaction on camera.
That's, you know what? I'll pull a picture of you, react to that, and then have a picture of the trailer. It'll be very Inception-y. Good trailer. What do you think? Okay, Kyle.
Great trailer.
Okay, so what makes it a great trailer for you?
Oh, a number of things. Honestly, just it delivered on the almost impossible expectations of the fan base, I think. Visually, it was stunning. There was so many really cool shots and special effects, and the way that Rosamund Pike carries herself as Moiraine is, from the brief glimpses that we've gotten, is almost perfect.
Yep.
So I think it just delivers in so many ways that so many people were scared when they've announced this and have had so much anxiety over it. Now, still, we'll have to find out.
She's going to be so good.
Yeah.
Do you remember when casting decisions were coming out and she was the first one that was announced?
Yeah.
And one of the first things that people said was, "She's too tall. She's too tall." And oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm really excited for her. Ryan, any shots that like really stood out that you either love or just need to know more about, like from this trailer?
There's a couple of shots that really, the one that got the biggest reaction out of me was actually the Myrddraal. That was like, here's the thing. None of the visuals, casting, anything of that is the way that I have envisioned while I've been reading.
Sure.
I don't need it to match my vision of that exactly. Seeing it all in real life, though, has got me so excited about this version. So to see the Myrddraal that way, the teeth that are, it
concentric rows. And,
I freaked out there. I need to know more about, one of the big talking points I know that we've all had is the water sequence with the colored lines that she comes out and she's like painted.
So Egwene comes out of a pool of what looks like water, and there's like oil paint or something that sticks to her.
There's something that's how they do a lot of like camo wraps and stuff on helmets, things like that. It's interesting. Apparently they wrap their novices. So
no, I think just visually, it's a great looking scene. And it's one of those, what is that? And people are talking about, I think Daniel Green on his channel, he was talking about how that is, his theory was that's back in, what's the village? What's the name of the village?
Emmons Field.
Emmons Field. She's in Emmons Field, and that's how, like, her coming of age, or like becoming the apprentice to Nynaeve or something like that. And I'm like, nah, the colors.
Too much color.
Yeah, the colors tell me it's a white tower. So my prediction is that here's the scene. We'll see how closely the scene plays out to my prediction. It's in the White Tower. It's her accepted training. And there's the way that they've chosen to interpret the accepted training in the series is there's a pool of magical liquid, and the novice goes into the pool of magical liquid, and in the space of 30 seconds, like, for us, it feels like 30 seconds. For her, it feels like days and days on end. She goes through her 100 trials and passes and comes out. And, maybe it's like, and if the colors stick to you, then you have been accepted by the colors of the White Tower, something like that, right? That's my prediction.
Go ahead.
My prediction is that they bring in the idea that Egwene is a dreamer really early on, and that it's foreshadowing what's to come because there's so many colors and Amyrlin Seat stuff.
Okay, all right, I like it.
That would be interesting. I hadn't really considered Teleron Riode in that.
Yeah, same.
I think it's too early in the series to be, unless it's Nynaeve, because Nynaeve's the one who becomes accepted first in there. The novice.
I think we have to be prepared for a ton of stuff like that to be changed around, where it's like we need to get Egwene into position to
sooner rather than later.
yeah, to be the Amerlin seat sooner. Yeah, exactly. Sooner.
Spoilers, I guess.
I'll put something on the video. Don't worry. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of timelines fast tracked.
Exactly.
Where you're going to get
that's my
something
point.
that's going to come up in book 7 might come up in season 1 or season 2 of the show, because it's like, we got to get this going. So that was my thought, is especially with the emphasis on, I actually really like the way that they've angled this, where even if you read the summary or synopsis of the show, the main character focuses on Moraine. And so I like the way that they're coming in from that lens, and they're focusing it really, really heavily on the Aes Sedai and the women, the women in power.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that getting those pieces set with key female characters like Nynaeve and Egwene is going to be key, and probably at the forefront for a while.
Yeah.
That's actually a point that someone else made. I don't remember who it was, Daniel something, but it really got me thinking about.
It sounded like you said Danielson.
Danielson.
The trailer, simply by the choice of voiceover, the number of shots, the focus on and who they're focusing on, I think that they are going to do. Closest thing to a hot take I have for this is Jordan has often been criticized for not writing great female characters. Like they're enjoyable characters, but they're flawed.
In the wrong way.
In the wrong ways, yeah.
Yeah.
And this series, one of the biggest places it has to potentially build is to give more focus and time to those women and give them more depth and more of those moments. And I think that based on what I'm seeing in that trailer, that in terms of screen time, in terms of time spent and there, that we're going to see that. This is going to be a little bit more than just following Rand and his story. It's not just the Dragon Reborn story of Rand. It's going to be following these other ones a little bit heavier than we do normally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also really like the idea that the audience gets to be in the position of Moraine, because as a reader, you're following Rand and you get that point of view, and there's kind of some assumptions that you make as you're going through.
She's more mysterious than we'll probably get in the
But
in
also,
the
like,
show.
Moraine's trying to figure out who the hell even is the Dragon Reborn when she gets to the Emmons Field, right? Because she thinks it could be any one of the three.
Right.
And so you give that away too early, and there's not that question. But that sense of urgency and the central role that she plays in uncovering him and finding him, like, we get some of that early on, and we get a ton of that at the very end of the series when you read through and she comes back and meets him as a fully representative version of himself and Lews Therin. But for the show, you actually get to go through that mystery and discovery of who that is.
So one thing that I love from this trailer is the Trollocs. And let me tell you why. It's because we don't really get to see them very well. We get little hints, but it's one of the things people have been the most excited for. How are they going to do the Trollocs? What are they going to do? And we do get little shadows, silhouettes, and just flashes of the Trollocs, but they don't actually show the Trollocs. And I thought it was very well done, very neatly done, where they know that's what you're looking forward to. And they might give you that in the second trailer.
Very Spielberg, though.
But I hope they don't. Mm-hmm. I hope they wait for the Trolloc reveal until the actual release of the show. But yeah, I like this one where you can see the silhouette of the ram's head kind of in firelight, behind the
smoke screen.
Smoke, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I love that moment.
But it's even the silhouette, the little bit you see is terrifying, though. You see how big they are. You see how
fast they are. They're moving across the screen really quickly, and just, yeah.
You have the one moment, there's a split second where you see Lan going through a sword form and cutting through three of them who have just kind of appeared there. And it's like, it's just, you don't see anything about them other than just him cutting them down, but you see just in terms of scale how big they are. I mean, it's still enough to terrify you. It's enough to sate that taste you need.
Kyle, what are your thoughts on the Randland clitoris? How did it do for you?
Wow, what a question.
No, so we get our first glimpse of Vagina Island, that being Tar Valon, and the White Tower, which
there's a reason they didn't put an aerial shot in the trailer.
Absolutely. what are your thoughts on Tar Valon? Is it everything you hoped for and more?
I honestly, I don't even know what I hoped for, but I can say that I literally gasped like out loud when that scene or when that flashed across the screen. When you see the White Tower and Dragon Mount for the first time and just the visuals of that, that was the moment in the trailer where I was just like awestruck, because it was, I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but it wasn't the complete giant tower like shooting up into the sky that I think I envisioned when I was reading the book. It's something much more realistic and tangible, but it just worked so well with the White Tower and Dragon Mount looming in the background and the way that they put that together. I just, like I said, that I gasped when I saw that. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, anything else from the trailer that we want to discuss? Any mysteries you're looking forward to solving? Who's the man with the ring? Who is the man with the ring?
Lews Therin, right?
Probably.
I think that's kind of what most of us are assuming. That's going to be the case.
Yeah.
It could be. No. I was like, do we play with anything with Shadar Logoth? Because we know that's kind of an area in there, but it doesn't. Lighting doesn't seem to clue into Shadar Logoth.
Yeah.
Much.
Yeah. I will say we didn't really get much. We got a couple tiny glimpses of Shadar Logoth in this trailer, but that is what Rosamund Pike kept referencing when people would ask her, "What are you excited for people to see?" Because she did a little Q&A after the trailer dropped, and that's what she kept coming back to. I'm really excited for people to see Shadar Logoth, and I was like, well,
what are you most excited to see that maybe we either got a tiny glimpse of or we didn't get that much of?
I think the thing that I'm most, the thing that we saw that I'm most interested in, besides the Trollocs, I'll actually say along with the Trollocs, it's the whole Emond's Field sequence. What are they going to do with Emond's Field? Because even the glimpses that we got of the three boys in the inn, right? They're all sitting around drinking in the inn. The few glimpses we get make it look like it's very much what it is in the books, the Shire. Right. This is the Shire where everybody's just kind of chilling out, having a good time, doing their farming, whatever. But then, of course, Winter Night happens and, all hell breaks loose. And how are they going to do that sequence? Are they going to give Rosamund Pike the Remember Monethrin speech? I don't think they are, because she references that as one of her favorite speeches, but she says, but it's one from the book. And so I don't think they're going to give her that. But what are they going to give her? What are we going to be told in the Emond's Field sequence? So that's, I think I'm looking forward to that first episode to see what they do there.
That's the little bit of that sequence that they show in the trailer where Moraine is using the One Power. All of the instances of the use of the One Power in the trailer are pleasing to my eye.
Okay, I bet that's a controversial take.
Well, I'm interested because I know that I've already had conversations with people who they're frustrated with, they're afraid what it's going to turn into is a kung fu movie with, every time they need to do something, it's gestures to make happen. And gestures are part of it, depending on like Third Age Aes Sedai use gestures and
right.
all these different things. But I'm interested to see if / how they start showing differentiation in the power. The different threads, if they're going to bother with that, or if it's just the One Power is just the One Power and you just channel
just
it.
Magic.
Versus breaking it down into spirit and fire and all the different pieces there. And then when they do that, I saw someone I think is making too much of a pixelated shot, but the taint.
Oh, okay. What's the shot?
I'm not going to use the phrase that I'm excited to see the taint. I'm excited to see the taint. I'm excited to see the taint.
You just did, and I'm cutting it out, and I'm using that as my ringtone.
But that is
I don't remember that shot. What's the shot with the taint?
That's the thing, is I think they're making too much of a sequence in there, but there's a moment where you see Logain in his cage and there's a blast of power out from him. And someone went in and kind of zoomed in on a portion of it, and so it has the white light of the One Power that's in all the other sequences, but in portions of it, there's kind of a darker vein, a black vein that wraps around some of it. So it's like, oh, are we seeing the taint in these black veins here? And so hard not to giggle
Wait.
through this. But are we seeing
It's
that?
the gift that keeps on giving. Okay. No, I like that. Cool. Well, I think it's fair to say we're all very excited for the show. And so we'll be watching it along with everybody else. We hope that people will hang out with us for reactions and discussion and go to Discord and come here to YouTube and all that stuff. So, all right, guys, I'll see you in, what was it, November 16th?
19.
19th. November 19th. I'll see you all there.